Namaskar and welcome to Express News, where we get you news at the speed of 100 stories in 30 minutes. Let's begin. The External Affairs Minister, Jaishankar, on Tuesday reiterated India's support to the Philippines in upholding its national sovereignty. Dr. Jaishankar was interacting with the media in Manila along with his Filipino counterpart, Enrique Manalo. Jaishankar held a meeting with his counterpart, Enrique Manalo, in Manila. And India's External Affairs Minister stated that the two democracies are committed to a rules-based order, and he looked forward to intensifying ties. The EAM said that the two leaders also exchanged views on global, regional and multilateral issues, including the Indo-Pacific, ASEAN, West Asia, Ukraine, NAM and the UN. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Rekha Patra, the BJP candidate from Bashirhat and one of the Sandesh Khali victims, and he spoke to her about her campaign preparations, support among people for the BJP and more. The BJP has released its sixth list of 3 candidates for the upcoming parliamentary elections. The party had fielded Kanhaiya Lal Meena, Indu Devi Jatav and Tanojam Basanta Kumar Singh. India's ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, has fielded some new and prominent faces for the upcoming polls. As of now, the names of 402 candidates have been announced. The Bharatiya Janata Party on Tuesday announced that the party would contest the upcoming Lok Sabha elections alone in the state of Punjab and would not form an alliance with the Shiromani Akali Dal. The senior Congress leader, Supriya Srinath, made derogatory comments against the actor and now BJP candidate Kangana Ranaut. Several senior leaders of the BJP have condemned the derogatory comments made against Kangana Ranaut. The Election Commission of India has issued an advisory to the chief electoral officers of all states and union territories in view of the heat wave that's expected. The Commission shared a copy of do's and don'ts to minimize the impact of heat wave. Janata Dal Secular Party in India's southern state of Karnataka released their list of candidates contesting the Lok Sabha elections from the state. The regional party is contesting the elections in alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party in Karnataka. The Aam Aadmi Party on Tuesday held a massive protest in Delhi against the arrest of its convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Several protesters were detained in the national capital. The Indian politician K. Kavita has been sent to jail till April 9 after her custody with the Enforcement Directorate ended today. A plea for interim bail will be heard on April 1. The High Commission of India in Sri Lanka, in partnership with the Sri Lankan Ministry of Technology, organized a conference on digital public infrastructure (DPI) in Colombo. The conference aims to explore the transformative potential of DPI for enabling service delivery, empowering communities by fostering inclusivity and enriching the economy by driving innovation. The Indian Coast Guard ship arrived in Manila at the Manila Bay in the Philippines to resolve the marine pollution in the ASEAN region, besides bolstering bilateral cooperation. The deployment is the third in a row by the Indian Coast Guard in the ASEAN countries. The Indian Coast Guard ship is Samudra Paharedar, and it's a specialized pollution control vessel. It's aimed at demonstration of marine pollution response capabilities and also shared concern and resolve towards marine pollution in the ASEAN region. The Indian Coast Guard organized a walkathon with the Philippines Coast Guard to promote the Puneet Sagar Abhiyan. The walkathon was followed by a cleanup at the Dolomite Beach. India's chief economic advisor, Ananta Nageshwaran, has said that the nation's employment structure has improved significantly in the post-pandemic era And the Institute of Human Development has actually prepared a report on India's employment 2024. The IT capital of India, Bengaluru, is reeling under a severe water shortage. The crisis is likely to remain till June as the peak summer approaches, with dried bore wells and depleting water levels in reservoirs. The Customs Department at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi seized one skull and that had horns appearing to be of an antelope from a US national departing from Delhi to New York. The Indian equity indices closed lower on Tuesday. The Sensex declined 361 points to settle at 72,470. The Nifty also ended in the red with a drop of 92 points to finish at 22,004. The Indian rupee jumped 32 paise to close at 83.29 against the US dollar. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of April stood at 66,314 rupees per 10 grams on the Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 3rd of May stood at 74,950 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Boeing's board has begun a search for a big hitter to take the helm of the troubled plane maker following the turbulence under the tenure of the CEO Dave Kolhan. And the US stocks lost ground at the start of a holiday-shortened week on Monday as investors positioned themselves ahead of inflation data. All three major US stock indices ended the season in the red, with the blue chip Dow suffering the largest percentage loss. Oil prices were on track to gain for a second straight day on Tuesday. Brent crude rose 23 cents to $86.98 per barrel, and the U.S. crude futures climbed 28 cents to $82.23 a barrel. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka slashed interest rates by 50 basis points on Tuesday to stimulate growth amid the island country's worst financial crisis in decades. The Sri Lankan government has secured a $100 million loan in a deal signed with the Asian Development Bank that aims to provide vital financial assistance to revive the island's small and medium-sized enterprises sector. The 2.57-kilometer-long Key Bridge in Maryland's Baltimore in the United States collapsed into the water after a cargo ship hit it on Tuesday morning. Major portions of the bridge collapsed into the Patapsco River. The Baltimore City Fire Department said that as many as 7 people are missing and 2 have been rescued. The fire department spokesperson termed it as a mass casualty, mass agency event. The rescue operation could extend for days. The WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, has been given permission by the High Court of London to take his challenge against extradition to the US to another hearing. The court ruled that Assange could pursue his appeal at a full hearing. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has officially cancelled an Israeli delegation's visit to the White House this week. The Prime Minister's office said that the decision was made in light of the change in the US's position. The U.S. decision to abstain on the vote that allowed the latest resolution on Gaza to pass prompted Israel's Prime Minister to cancel a scheduled visit to the United States by 2 of his top advisors. The White House said that it was very disappointed by the decision of the Israeli Prime Minister. The National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said that the Biden administration is perplexed by Netanyahu's decision to cancel Israel's delegation's visit. Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said that Israel could not end the war on Hamas while there are still hostages in Gaza. The Israeli Defense Minister is on a visit to the United States. The Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday acknowledged that last week's deadly attack at a concert outside Moscow was carried out by radical Islamists. 4 men of Tajik origin were remanded to custody on terrorism charges on suspicion of carrying out the attack. 3 others, also of Tajik origin, were remanded in custody on suspicion of complicity. The United Nations Security Council held a minute's silence for the victims of the Moscow attack. All 15 Security Council delegations stood and they joined in, observing a minute's silence to present their condolences. The US and the British officials filed charges, imposed sanctions and accused Beijing of sweeping cyber espionage campaign. The Deputy Prime Minister Oliver Dowden accused Chinese hackers of trying to break into email accounts of the British lawmakers. The New Zealand government said that it had raised concerns with the Chinese government about its involvement in a state-sponsored cyber hack on New Zealand's parliament in 2021, which was uncovered by the country's intelligence services. Donald Trump's criminal hush money case is set to go to trial. A New York judge set April 15 as the trial date. Odds that Trump will face at least one verdict before facing the voters on November 5. Engineers continue to work round the clock to restore power on its households in 2 Ukrainian cities, Kharkiv and Odessa. The officials warned that damage caused by the repeated Russian strikes on energy infrastructure could take years to repair. France's Prime Minister Gabriel Attal said that an extra 4,000 members of the military would be put on standby for the Sentinel Division, which deals with handling of terrorist threats. Pakistan's second largest naval base in Balochistan has come under armed terrorist attack. The Majid Brigade of the banned Balochistan Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for this assault. Over 100 Nigerian students and staff who were kidnapped earlier this month were freed by the army in the neighboring state of Zamfara. They arrived at the local government building in Kaduna on Monday. The United Nations chief, Martin Griffiths, plans to step down at the end of June on health grounds. Griffiths is a British diplomat who has headed the Office of the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs since 2021. Haiti is still in the grip of widespread gang violence as armed gangs set fire to several vehicle garages in the country's capital, Port-au-Prince. At least 100 cars parked in several garages were set on fire by armed gangs on Sunday night. A veteran Israeli minister who joined Prime Minister Netanyahu's emergency unity government after Hamas' October 7 attack has resigned on Monday. Gideon Saar says that he was not being included in the highest level war cabinet. Senegal's opposition candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye is set to be declared as the country's next president after his rival from the ruling coalition called him to concede defeat. A convoy of tractors drove outside Britain's parliament to protest against post-Brexit trade deals in the latest demonstration by farmers globally. Belgian farmers are also expected to protest with tractors in Brussels during a meeting of the EU agriculture ministers, hoping to calm anger sparked by multiple EU countries about environmental standards. Migrants and activists held a memorial ceremony on Monday ahead of the first anniversary of the deadly fire at a Mexican migrant detention center. Heavy rain and hailstone hit parts of eastern and central China, leading to severe flooding that trapped vehicles and caused heavy property losses. Mingguan City in China's Anshul province has experienced a heavy downpour, while egg-sized hailstones rained down in Yiwu City of East China's Zhejiang province. Hong Kong's temperatures climbed to above 31 degrees Celsius this week. Hong Kong's observatory said Sunday's 31.5 Celsius was the highest temperature ever recorded. According to the Weather Service, the calendrical beginnings of spring was marked. The India Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rainfall in the northeastern region of the country. As per the IMD, the isolated heavy rainfall has been predicted over Assam and Meghalaya on the 25th and the 26th of March. The IMD also stated that a fresh western disturbance is likely to cause scattered to fairly widespread light rainfall over Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh over the next 2 days. Snakes, frogs and a crocodile were among the species that took centre stage in a new exhibit opening at London Zoo. The London Zoo has successfully bred 33 different species on location for the first time. Many of these species are extremely threatened in the wild. A baby western lowland gorilla born last month delighted visitors at London Zoo on Monday. An ostrich ran through the streets of Sihanoukville, which is in Seoul, south of Seoul, before being captured and then sent back to an ecological park. It was captured by the police and firefighter authorities at a factory building. Ahead of Easter Sunday, primary school students in Poland decorated enormous Easter eggs with designs celebrating the heritage of the region. Easter celebrations began in El Salvador on a Monday with a traditional ceremony meant to highlight the universal struggle of good versus evil. The latest archaeological finds in Pompeii have helped unravel some of the secrets of Roman construction, especially of grand structures like the Pantheon. Working tools, stacked tiles and piled stones shed light on the construction techniques used by the Romans to make iconic buildings like the Colosseum. South Korea has laid out plans to support the domestic production of urea in order to prevent the repeated shortages of organic compound from China. South Korea is heavily reliant on Chinese urea. This has led to a nationwide shortage in South Korea when China had temporarily suspended urea exports last year. A Powerball drawing for $800 million, one of the largest jackpots in the history of the U.S. lottery game, found no winners on Monday night. In several videos surfacing online, customers in South Korea were seen snatching up green onions and courgettes piled up for sale at below market prices on government subsidies. The Italian fashion house Valentino said it would not present its men's and haute couture fashion shows in June following the departure of the creative director Pierpaolo Piccolio. Polish families cheered as they burnt the effigy of Marzanna, an ancient Slavic goddess of winter, marking the seasonal transition to spring at an open-air archaeological museum in Sopot. A video capturing a tiger's impressive leap across a river in the Sundarbans National Park, which is located in the eastern Indian state of West Bengal, is winning the hearts on the internet. Strawberry farming has given a new lease of life to self-help groups in the eastern Indian state of Odisha. Strawberry farming has increased the income and improved the quality of life for people in the rural areas of the Indian state of Odisha. The Sikh community in India is marking Hola Mohalla, a 3-day-long Sikh festival. In celebration, youth performed Gatka, which is a martial arts at the Anandpur Sahib Gurdwara in Punjab. With the Festival of Colours, Holi celebrated in India on Monday, the border guarding troops along the Nepal and Bhutan border joined the fervour, and the soldiers played with colours and danced in unison. A unique Holi carnival was organised in the western Indian state of Rajasthan on Monday. People donned varied costumes and paraded the streets with drums and songs. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security searched properties connected to hip-hop star Sean Diddy Combs in Los Angeles and Miami after Combs was accused by a former girlfriend of engaging in sex trafficking. The British actor Dev Patel, who made his directorial debut with the much-acclaimed Monkey Man, said that he is set out to make a movie that would combine his cinematic influences and upbringing with social commentary. The K-pop group NCT Dream, a subunit of the boy band NCT, on Monday released a new album, Dreamscape, ahead of their world tour in May. The Kennedy Center in the United States honored the comedian Kevin Hart with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Hart has become the 25th recipient of the prize. Netflix confirmed the 5th season of the hit series You with the release of its first look on Tuesday. The psychological thriller will be back for its final season later this year. The Hollywood actor Adam Driver in an interview said that his character from next film Megapolis is inspired by the director Francis Ford Coppola. Kung Fu Panda 4 earned rupees 259.6 million at the box office in its 2-week run in India and is expected to cross at least 300 million rupee mark by the end of this week. The Sydney Sweeney's horror film, which is called Immaculate, has made history as Neon's highest-grossing opening day, pulling in over $5 million on its debut. Allu Arjun and Radhika Mandana, starrer Pushpa 2, will reportedly have an extended special appearance of the actress Samantha. Director Prashant Varma's superhero film Hanuman, starring Teja Saja, will get a third OTT release on Disney Plus Hotstar in Tamil, Malayalam and Kannada on the 5th of April. Cricket Australia on Tuesday confirmed the 2024-25 Border Gavaskar Trophy between India and hosts Australia is going to start on the 22nd of November in Perth. Virat Kohli scored his 100th 50-plus score in T20 cricket during the RCB win over Punjab Kings in Bengaluru. Kohli's 77 was his 51st 50 in IPL. Wales will lock horns with Poland tonight in their Euro 2024 playoff in Cardiff, with the winner sealing a spot at this year's European Championship in Germany. Georgia will host Greece in the Euro 2024 qualifying playoff on Tuesday night. The match is defining for both teams, as the winner will clinch one of the last 3 spots at the European Championship in Germany later this year. The Brazilian winger Vinicius Jr. broke down in tears and said that he was struggling to stay motivated and enjoy playing football because of the recurring racist abuse that he is subject to in Spain. The South Korean soccer player Son Jun-ho, who was detained in China since May 2023, has recently been released. Son Jun-ho was suspected of accepting bribes. The Brazilian soccer player Dani Alves was released from a Barcelona prison on Monday after posting a bail of $1.09 million, that's about 1 million euros, over his conviction for the rape of a woman in a nightclub's restroom in 2022. Top seed Carlos Alcaraz dominated Gael Monfils 6-6-4, and the 4th seed Alexander Zverev escaped a tight first set en route to a 7-6, 6-3 win over Christopher Eubanks. They both reached the last 16 of the Miami Open. And Caroline Garcia pulled off a gritty 6-3, 1-6, 6-2 victory. It's an upset victory over the 3rd seed Coco Gauff to book her place in the Miami Open quarterfinals. Finally, Andy Murray will be sidelined for an extended period after suffering a severe ankle injury during his exit from the Miami Open. Well, that's all we have in Express News. Thanks very much for watching. Namaskar.